What's going on, guys? This is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. Today we are out here playing with some new tires that I'm now offering as part of my cut and shut lineup on westdesertwheeler.com. I've really been trying to make as many cut and shuts as possible. They're still in very high demand. I really appreciate the support, guys. It means a lot, but it's literally me making every single tire and getting them all shipped out. So I'm not a tire factory. I only have so much time in the day to cut and shut tires. But what we've got here is my Rock Pirates Kraken Pro chassis, and this one is on Capra axles with rear steer, and it's got about a 13-inch wheelbase. I use the G-Shot link kit from Hardcore RC on this truck, so that puts me right around 13-inch. These tires are the Proline Baja Pro X, which come as a 4.85 from Proline. They're a very meaty, chunky tire. They're very wide, so after I do a cut and shut on them, they end up with a 5.55 inch tall tire. Now, they start as a 1.9 wheel cut and shut tires. I cut the tire in half essentially, and then I add a piece of a donor tire to it then I glue that into the tire and it makes it larger. So we've increased our wheel diameter to 2.2. These are now a perfect 2.2 bead, and they bolt right up to standard 2.2 wheels. We've got Vanquish machetes on here, I believe. 30 millimeters wide. Those work really well with this wide of a tire. These are in the Predator compound, and I've got SL3D squid inserts in these tires as well. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to go see how these perform. I haven't run them out here on the rocks before. It's about 65 degrees today, so it's a little on the warm side for the Predator. It's a lovely spring day. I'm super excited. Sydney's running around. She's happy to be out of the house as well. Let's see how this truck performs. So I'm starting off over here, and there's actually a couple lines that I've never made before, so this may not look good for the tire potentially, or it could look really good for the tire. These are very difficult lines that I just haven't been able to figure out yet. So being that this is a much bigger tire, it does give you certain advantages as far as just pure climbing over ledge ability. Yes, that's a new word I came up with. Climbing up a ledge ability. But then there are certain other things, like these simply just are a lift kit. They raise the entire truck up, right? So you're raising your entire center of gravity, and it's going to be tippier. This is what the whole premise of a cut and shut is about, of like the crawler that I have, or the trencher, or all my other cut and shuts. It's that if you run too large of a 2.2, you lose performance. So on this particular truck, that's what I'm here to find out, is if this truck loses performance. But there's times where you actually, if you have the right rig, this tire could work really well for you. Yeah. It's all right if we're not gonna make that one. It's a wild one. But also, this body was not trimmed for this size of tire with this steering angle, so we may get quite a lot of angry Lexan noises, and that's okay. This is not a permanent tire for this truck. And as mentioned, I think that the temperature outside is just getting to the warm side of where Predator is supposed to be ideal. I think it's a better cold weather tire, which is, I'm sure, what Proline actually advertises them as. And I wouldn't say that 65 degrees is cold weather anymore. And when it gets real hot down here, which it gets real hot down here, these things they get too gooey. They stop fighting. The tread blocks fold over too easy, and they stop fighting for traction. The tread itself stops fighting for traction. And you're more reliant on the compound, which the compound is too soft. Come on, big ledge, big bump, let's go. All right. This has always been a super fun transition through here. Keep that front right hooked in there, and then let that shoulder of the sidewall just pull it up and out. I think I turned a little early, so let's go further up. There it is. And now we can drive up this ridge using rear steer. We're going to essentially crab our way up because the truck doesn't fit on this ledge. There it goes. It's the only way it fits. Put traction on like the opposite corner tires and it'll climb. I'm also curious if these tires will do better in like loose dirt scenarios or maybe even sand scenarios. They've got a wild tread pattern. And personally, they're not my favorite looking tire, but there's a little part of me that likes like the super aggressive chunky tread. It does look cool. But I probably wouldn't put a real set of tires of these on my truck or rig. But that's okay. That's why there's so many tires out there. Not all of them are for everybody. Unless they were a huge advantage in my terrain. About a week ago, I came out here and set up some gates in this area. And I put a gate on this line. So we're gonna see if this truck can still perform this line, which I did run with this truck. That was just before the first round of the North vs South Utah RC Crawling Championship. It was March 2024, and in the Sand Hollow location, which is where we're at. So I put up some practice gates, and I ended up doing pretty well in the competition. This truck I had equipped with BFG crawlers and G8 that were super scrubbed in, which is just my personal preference because from what I've seen, they do great. And I was able to put together a couple really awesome runs with this truck. A little bit of luck involved, but I ended up winning Class 3 against, you know, I don't remember how many drivers were actually in Class 3. Probably 30 or so, I guess. But always feels awesome to get out there and put together a good run during a competition, because I can pull off some wild lines just out here free crawling, but when it comes to doing it timed and under the pressure and a few people watching, trying to drive well against your friends, it can become harder to do. So really stoked to do well on that and really happy with how this truck's performing. So that's why I've got the deluxe brass weights in the front. I felt this truck needed a little more weight in the front compared to how I had it set up. And apparently I was correct because it worked really, really good on course. Look at Sydney over there looking all majestic. Got the Cut'N'Shut Mickey Thompson Baja Pro X Pro X. Is that our thumbnail right there, guys? Is that it? Could be. For the record, today hasn't really been a trail kind of day, just hitting random fun obstacles. I haven't driven this in probably over a year. And I did it with a Class 2 on J Concepts tires. And when I first did it, I was kind of surprised the truck did it. Now, it's been so long that it's certainly possible that the bottom sand has been washed away and it's made it taller. I'm pretty confident it is taller right now. So having this longer wheelbase truck is an advantage, but nice little save. I don't know if it's enough because it's a pretty big obstacle, but it's kind of cool. You get up in here on an angle and then you're kind of just able to, okay, I saw what my front right was doing. And I got a little two sideways and two on the wheel. Oh, come on. May have to approach it further to the right. Need the overdrive to pull that nose on and secure it, but the front left isn't letting me get a good hook. It's funny when you have a Class 2 truck, which in theory is less capable, but man, those things are so good sometimes that, like even with rear steer, got a good looking hook there. Nice, got these big tires, give me some added clearance on the belly and the skid. Oh, no, come on. Okay, we got it. All right, that took a lot of work though. It was easier the last time I did it. But like I mentioned, the terrain out here changes and sometimes things get harder or easier. This would be a great test of the sidewall traction. We'll see if we can get this thing to like lock up on us, or if we can just power through. We have a ton of gearing reduction, so it should power through. Sydney's over here growling. We got Light Bright in the background. They're out there wheeling their buggy, and they have their dogs with them. Sydney's wanting to go say hi to the dogs. So this one is cool because it's off camber. So you really ride the right sidewalls hard, and the left wall is actually over vertical. This is all about going slow and making small corrections with your steering. Just keep things moving along. Now it's got a lot of binding in it, which is why it's a little jumpy right now. It's got a Fusion Pro in this truck, but trying to do really slow finesse crawling is hard for the system. And when you get tons of traction built up on the sidewalls, it can get a little bit jumpy like that. Now we're going to work our transition out. The left rear tire taking a big bite out of that body, but made it look easy actually. That was not bad at all. Okay, big tires, here's a chance for you to shine. Give me some added belly clearance. Get up and over this ledge. I will be impressed if it can easily do this. It's got a good hook. Overdrive worked well there. Okay. It's up on its belly. We got to work its way right. This has traditionally been a really difficult obstacle. Okay, that was good. First attempt there, and it made it look pretty damn easy, honestly. It's a sharp breakover. That's really hard to get up and over. This truck just made it look easy. More super challenging obstacles. This one, I've made it a handful of times. I've tried it a lot. Rear steer helps, so got that going for us. Okay, we got our front left, trying to get it hooked up in there. Hooked over the top ledge. We got that. Working towards our second ledge. Come on, truck. Keep going. Come on. Oh, dude, it's close. Come on. Bring it back over to the right. Okay. I want to go off to the right on the exit. Yeah, first try too. That was sweet. A little bit different technique that I drove that with, but that really paid off. I'm genuinely just driving these because I'm curious how they will do on my terrain. So I'm curious, do you guys have a favorite tire on your terrain? Let us know the area that you're in and what your favorite tire is. Have you done much like real testing, or have you just found a style that you like? That's fine too. I'm totally guilty of that, just picking a tire that I like the look of. But I'm guilty that some of the tires that I like the look of are not the best performers. These have impressed me on a few things. They've not been the greatest on a few things, but overall I'd say they're pretty good. Get up there. Oh, there it is. The trick is to get the truck to fit on that ledge. And then you got to get up and over this breakover. Want that front left hooked. There it is. That 3-degree angled skid on the Kraken Pro is all we needed there. Just enough. Front right's floating. Let me actually just wiggle it around. That's a nasty breakover, look at that. And this truck gets up and over it. It's the second time it's done that. They did it on smaller tires as well, so I was very curious to see how it would respond there. Let's get our front right hooked on this ledge. And we're just gonna trust that inside sidewall to help us pull it all the way up. We're not gonna climb the rears just yet. We're gonna get the front left into the pocket. And then we're actually gonna bring that front left and the rear right up at the same time. Now we got 3 tires up the ledge, so it's easier to just drag that last one up. And then turn back left, turn up the wall, which is gonna take pressure off that left rear suspension. Look at the way we're flexing the truck. Because that left rear shock is fully extended, it has less pressure down on it, so it will climb easier. And the opposing action is true as well. So if you're flexed out like that, my back right tire would not want to go up ledges at that point because it's got a lot more pressure on it. So it's things like that when you're working on a ledgy section you need to watch for. If you're fully flexed, the tire on the compressed side will not want to climb up things. It can do it on occasion, but generally it's not going to want to. This is a very technical, tricky descent. You want to get as high as possible without getting ridiculous with it. So here we go. You get that front off the wall. Our left rear is up in the pocket area. Yep, perfect. I was able to just set it down. Truck slid just enough to give me control and not hang me up. Now we're going to keep this tire hooked on the inside of this ledge so it can't fall off. Rears are going to come down. And then I'm actually going to keep that tire on that wall if I can. Hello, Sydney. And this line's only been on my channel a few times. The first video I made with this truck, I brought it out here and drove this line. This is a very challenging set of obstacles. Hey, what are you eating? Eating something, probably bones from a dead animal. Lots of owls and coyotes out in this area. But this line is a very challenging set of obstacles. Being able to do it easily or first try really shows the performance of a truck. So we're gonna try and keep that tire right on that line. Oh, the front left is starting to twist up on us. Okay. We're gonna use the squid inserts to turn down in the rear to force that front left back onto the wall. It's holding traction. Okay, it slipped off, but that was okay. We didn't lose the line. I'm not surprised when it did. I gave it a little steering input and I knew that it could happen. And she pulled it off first try. That was awesome. But we're talking about a pretty serious rig at this point. I mean, 13-inch wheelbase, 5.5-inch tall tires, 50 degrees of steering front and rear. It's no joke. Got some rock crawling in the background there. Got Brittany on a waterfall over there. Good set of ledges. Nice. These tires made that ledge look easy, like it was nothing. So guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and start closing this one out. Got this last little V-notch. Doesn't look like it should be too bad as long as we can squeeze that front past. Usually dragging the rear up isn't too much of a problem, but it's still a steep incline once the fronts are up. You can see me rocking that steering back and forth. That's to let some of the lugs slip through. And then we're gonna flip, apparently. Okay. But overall, there's things these tires have done that has impressed me, and there's things that I've kind of just felt meh about. Again, Predator is not necessarily what's best in my area, but I know that it's really good in other people's terrain. So that's one of the reasons I'm offering these in Predator, is to give you guys a choice for Predator options. Let me know if you prefer G8 or Predator as well. I'm a real big fan of G8. Around here, if someone wants tire advice, I tell them Pick a Proline tire, any tread that you like the pattern of, I don't care, and make sure it's in G8. That's like the best tire advice for our area. But I haven't crawled everywhere, you know, so don't do it. Come on, haven't lost it. We're about to. Yeah, that's not good. Holy crap, guys. My truck just rolled over. I went to grab it and move it. There's a rattlesnake right there. You guys see him? I don't even know if he's alive. He hasn't moved. Oh yeah, he's alive. He's mad. And Sydney's right here, so like, that's not good. Be aware of your surroundings. That's scary, man. A little guy like that, it also might be a Sidewinder. Looking at his sides, I've seen a Sidewinder out here, and those don't get very big, so he's a nasty little guy. You gotta stay away from him, regardless of what kind of rattlesnake it is. Yeah, he's a Sidewinder. He's got horns on his head. He knows what he's doing. He's just chilling. I've gotten that comment a couple times of people asking me like, how often do you see rattlesnakes? The truth is, not very often. And every encounter I've had, they've just want to be left alone. I've never had one come at me or really, it's hard to get them to rattle, truthfully. And even that guy, I went up there and nudged him with the tire with my servo, with the truck. Nothing bad, I didn't hurt him or anything. I just wanted to see if he was alive. I got him to move, and yeah, he wasn't real happy about it. Didn't rattle, didn't even come uncoiled. Just kind of pulled away a little bit. So he's probably cold. Man, get you going though when you're just hanging out and all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, there's a rattlesnake. But my name is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. I greatly appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to follow my friends, Rock Pirates RC. They have a YouTube channel. Lots of how to install their products, trail rides, events, lots of awesome stuff. Check out Rock Pirates' YouTube channel. They do a great job. Also Sky RC's YouTube channel. Cody has been going through his shop and putting little Easter eggs in there. If you find the Easter egg, you win a badass prize. Be sure to follow Sky RC on YouTube. But that's gonna do it for me. My name is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. We will see you guys on the next one. Keep the rubber side down.